The very first and most important thing you need once you arrive Canada is getting a Canadian SIM card. Why? Because you need the data and minutes to book appointments, to call offices, and most importantly, to stay connected. Practically everything you do in Canada is by appointment, and if you do not have a Canadian SIM card, then obviously you cannot even call those offices to book an appointment. Once you arrive at the airport, most of the service providers or all of them will have their kiosks there, depending on the time you arrive. Of course, if you arrive very late, then they probably might have closed for the day, and then you'll be looking at getting it from the mall. But if you arrive on time, you'll see them there. We have things like Fido, Telos, Rogers, whichever one you want to use. Just go to their kiosk, check the options they have available. Most times they have offers for new immigrants. It's something you want to look into to know the one that is more affordable for you. One tip I always give people is try not to get the same service provider for your phone and for your home internet. The reason is because when you have a downtime, you're going to be down on everything. There was a time we had like tornado in Ontario and all the set network providers were off. So imagine having same network provider, right? They were all restoring them one after the other. So if Fido is down and you have Fido both on your phone and your home internet, you're totally off. But if you have Fido and let's say you have Rogers or you have Bell, if one is down, the other one will be up. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. The second thing you want to get is your SIN, which is your social insurance number. This is very important because without your SIN, you actually cannot work in Canada. You can apply for your SIN at the airport if the service is still available. The Service Canada office have location at the Toronto Pearson Airport and they have limited hours of operation. So if you arrive when they're operating during the weekdays, then you can actually get your SIN from there. If you arrive after office hours or over the weekend, then you might have to book an appointment online. The only thing is once you book an appointment online, you can actually even make your request online and it's going to take you almost 2 to 3 weeks for your SIN to be sent to the address you provided. Alternatively, you can walk into their office in person. The downside is you might have to wait a longer time because you do not have an appointment, but certainly you're going home with your SIN that day, depending on the number of people they have on the queue for that day. If you arrive Canada as a permanent resident and you have kids with you, they also need to have their own SIN. But if you came in as a temporary resident, let's say a worker or a student, then your dependents, if they're minors, cannot have SIN until you become a permanent resident. I want you to keep in mind that the SIN for temporary residents is totally different for that of permanent resident. So if you came to Canada as a temporary resident, let's say a student or a worker, and you finally transition to becoming a permanent resident, remember that you still need to go and change your SIN to that of a permanent resident. And at that point, you can also get for your children because at that time, they've become permanent residents as well. So you need to keep that in mind. The third thing you want to do when you arrive Canada is to secure an accommodation if you have not already done so before you arrive. So if you're in a temporary place, you certainly need to get your own place. In my channel, I made a video on how to get affordable accommodation once you arrive Canada. You might want to check out that video because it's going to help you and give you tips on how to navigate that process. The fourth thing you want to do when you arrive Canada is to get a health coverage, right? If you're an international student, most of the times you already have your insurance as part of your school fees. All you need to do is to activate it once you arrive Canada. During my time, I know you're able to activate your health insurance 10 days after the start of your program. I don't know what it is for various schools. You need to check out your school to know what works for you guys and what the policy states. And for those who are workers, you need to also check the province you're currently located in. Some provinces like Ontario will require you to have a full-time job offer before you can get a health card, while some other provinces might just want you to have a valid work permit as long as you reside in the province. You need to check the office of the province where you're currently residing to know the process and to know what is required for you to get a health insurance, because trust me, if you fall sick in Canada, you do not want to pay out of pocket. It's going to be so huge for you guys. The fifth thing you need when you arrive Canada is a government issued ID card. Most times you want to do something, they will ask you for a government issued ID card or 2 pieces of government issued ID card. You don't want to carry your international passport around all the time, and most people also feel more comfortable looking at ID card that were actually issued to you in Canada, by the way. So you want to get like a driver's license if you're ready to drive. Even if you're not ready to do the road test, with the written test, you can get the first one, which is the G1 in Ontario. Different provinces call it different things. If you're not ready to drive, then you want to get the provincial ID card for the province where you're currently residing. The sixth thing you want to get is transportation. Public transport is the most affordable way to move around when you first arrive Canada. So you want to get a bus ticket or a bus pass or the card, whichever one is obtainable wherever you are, you want to find out and get one of them. For international students, your ID card most times contains like your bus pass, so you can also use your ID card as a bus pass. You need to also activate it when you arrive at school. For those who are not international students, you want to get a bus ticket or you want to get a bus card. Most times these bus tickets are often sold in the malls. You can get them in Shoppers Drug Mart. You can also get them in the transportation company of the location where you are, like of the province or the location where you're currently residing. So this is something you also want to look into because it's going to help you to move around easily. The seventh thing you'd like to do is to open a bank account. This one is also very important because you need a bank account to receive your salary once you start working in Canada. You also need a bank account to pay your rent, whether you're paying by Interact transfer or they're going to be debiting you automatically at the end of the month. You definitely will need a bank account. It will also help you to build your credit score because once you get a bank account, of course, you're also going to get a credit card attached to the bank account. It will help you to grow. One tip for growing your credit score: don't go and take plenty loans, things that you don't necessarily need, thinking that it's going to help you build your credit score. I've had a couple of people who made this error and they're currently living in debt right now. And that was as a result of the advices they got when they first came to Canada. People assume or think that the more loans you have, it helps you to build your credit score. No. Even if you just have your credit card with $500 limit or even $1,000 limit, as long as you're spending and paying back as a when due, your credit score will even be higher than somebody who went to take a loan to buy a car, to buy a phone, and they're not able to pay for all the things at when due, and then it's draining them. Okay, so you don't want to have a bad record from the onset. The next thing on my list is to get a family doctor, especially if you have children. It's very, very important. Healthcare system in Canada is totally different from how it is back home in our countries. Okay, here the wait time is so long. You might not have a slot right now to get a family doctor. It's very important for you to get yourself registered so that when slots are available, then you will be the first to be considered because you're top on the waiting list. Lastly, you need to learn your local system and community where you're currently residing. Every province have services for new immigrants to help them settle in. You want to Google and check what's available where you're currently located. Most times they even help you with resume building, they help you with job search, they help you with various things that you'll never know. They also give you mentors that help you to, navigate the system, guide you, and let you settle in properly. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any question, please feel free to drop it in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer you all. And if you have something else you also like me to talk about, please go ahead and drop it in the comment section below. Thank you and see you in my next video. Bye.